It is Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. This is another offseason edition of Baseball Today. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose, producer Dan, along for the ride as well. Took an extra day to recover from the Super Bowl, and now we can officially turn the page, correct?
Yes, it's so good to see you. I know you were so busy this weekend, working hard up there, in Santa Clara. But now we get you all to ourselves. It's baseball season, as every single baseball pundit put out there on social media. It's time to go, Chris.
It is, but it was kind of fun to watch the Mariners get involved in the Seahawks championship run. There were a bunch of them that flew up from Arizona. Kirby, Naylor, Wu, Raleigh, all there in person. I don't think any of these guys are from the Seattle area, but it's pretty neat that they have kind of adopted. I think Naylor said this during the Mariners Fan Fest. He said, listen, I grew up in Canada. I haven't been to that many football games at all, but I'm supporting them, and I want to go to the Super Bowl, and they made it happen.
I'm giving a pass to all these guys because I understand what it's like to be in the city and root for that team. Plus, it's the Super Bowl. Like, it's fun to go. But shout out my guy Snellzilla, who's a real Seahawks fan. He was in the building as well. How about that?
Yeah, why not? I mean, he grew up there, so go get it. I will tell you this, from having covered it this weekend, it felt like it was 90-10 in favor of Seahawk fan. It was...
Oh, really?
Oh, it was incredible.
Shot at the bow to Patriots fans.
Well, right, I mean, listen, in fairness, it's a relatively short flight. When you're talking about Seattle, nothing's ever short in terms of flights, but it is to San Francisco. For Boston, it's 5.5 hours.
That shouldn't matter, Chris Rose.
All right. Plus, I'm just saying this. If you're a Patriots fan, you're like, I've done this before. They do have 6 Super Bowl rings. So if they've already done it, why spend all the money? You could just watch it. You could watch your team get your ass kicked on your own TV.
One more thing about Snellzilla.
Yeah.
One of the oldest listeners of Baseball Today.
Ah, yes, very true.
Remember that?
Back in the day when we were going like Instagram Live or whatever it was. All right, let's get to it as we do turn the page. Pitchers and catchers reporting this week. We love that. There's a bunch of big names already in camp and doing workouts, and you see it on your social media. You're like, oh, I can't wait for this. Well, the Red Sox, they continue to change their look. They have added Caleb Durbin as the centerpiece of a 6-player swap with the Brewers. Kyle Harrison, who was a big part of that Rafael Devers deal last summer from San Francisco, will now try and break through at the major league level in a Milwaukee uniform. Now, Boston, of course, has been pretty active since the day a few weeks ago when Alex Bregman said, I'm done at Fenway. I'm going to sign with the Cubs. Here is their skipper, Alex Cora.
You gotta give credit to the front office. That Saturday in Boston, it felt like the world was falling, and there's no direction and this and that. But they did an outstanding job getting Suarez here, and from there we kept working, and we got a good player. We got some good players. It's a different roster than last year. It's a different year, but ironic enough, and I can say it, I feel like we have a more complete team than last year.
Do you agree with him? You think it's more complete?
I mean, he's got to say that, right? He's just trying to pump the guys up. Last year when they traded Rafael Devers, he said, hey, we're going to be better without him. And I think they were, like, record-wise. So, that's a nice feather in his cap. The changes are what? Wilson Contreras and Caleb Durbin in the infield, right? So, is it a lot different? I don't know if the team is, like, totally different. Is it more well-rounded? I don't really know, Chris. I don't think there's like too much of a change. They're a full year of Roman Anthony, so that's nice. I already like their pitching. I already like their, the starters and their bullpen. The lineup to me seems decent. We know they can play some defense, that's for sure. It's lacking a little bit of pop, so maybe that's what he means by well-rounded. Like, pretty good lineup, 1 through 9 with defense and pitching. And is that the way they're going? Is that like, to me, that kind of seems like, well, we didn't get Pete and we didn't bring back Bregman. So, like, it's easier to acquire like that, like kind of defense and that kind of type of model. And I don't necessarily think that's what they were going for. I love Caleb Durbin. I think he's going to fit in great there. But Are they a better, like a more complete team? I don't know about that. I don't know. I think he's just trying to pump the guys up, Chris.
I think he's accurate.
Okay.
I really do. I think that he is accurate. And I think that he made a great point here is that after the Bregman deal, I think Boston baseball fans were going nuts, right? Because they felt like Bregman was a perfect fit. And sure, he missed a quarter of the season with that terrible quad injury, but you heard every player go to bat for him in terms of what he meant, not only when he stepped foot in the batter's box, but what he meant in that clubhouse and talking hitting with all different levels of players, whether they're rookies or guys who had only been in the major leagues a couple of years or even veterans. He had a profound impact on that team. But I think they've done a terrific job. And they have spent some of that money to go get Ranger Suarez. And now they have built a rotation, which, at least according to Fangraphs, is expected to have the best WAR of any starting rotation in the major leagues. I think it's pretty damn good. And then you add in the depth. I mean, they've done what the Dodgers did last year. They have a second starting five available. It's not nearly as good as their top starting five, but they're guys that teams can either call about or when there are injuries inevitable that happen during the season, go get them. I think it is a complete team.
I think it's a complete team, but I don't think it's a more complete team than last year. And they had a pretty damn good team last year too. I'm curious, that's just, what does he mean by that?
Well, so are you more concerned about Bregman not being there? Is that the part that, because really that's the biggest dude that's not here. Everybody else is. Roman Anthony will be a part of their playoff team, hopefully, if they do make it.
If that's what he means by more complete is having him for a full year, I'm buying in on that. But parts out and parts in, it's basically especially in the position player pool, it's Bregman out, Durbin and Contreras in,
which I don't think is a terrible trade.
It's not terrible. It's not terrible. I think I was just so into their team last year, and I really liked them. I just think that I don't know if they've moved the needle position player wise for me this year. I think they're on par, which is a good thing because again, I picked them to go to the freaking World Series last year.
Right,
pitching has improved and it was already good last year. So look, I like the Red Sox. I think it's just a skipper doing skipper talk.
Don't you think their rotation is significantly better going into this season?
It is much more depth. I think the quality is better. Ranger Suarez obviously makes them better, and don't sleep on Sonny Gray at all. Absolute dog.
How could you? All right.
Yeah.
So the follow-up to this is that there have been some Sox fans that are saying the organization is operating more like a small market team than a financial powerhouse. Is that fair in your opinion?
They've missed on a lot of guys. And the reason they missed on some of these guys isn't because they weren't flexing enough money. It's the no trade thing's interesting. So you can bring that into the conversation. Should that be a policy going forward would be my question if I was in the organization. I don't think so. I think you can pick and choose still. Like you can't just have it as a flat policy.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't have that as a flat policy, and you shouldn't put it out there to the media like this is our policy. We're not doing no trade. Like it's kind of ridiculous. Like you need to have the flexibility to do that. I don't think it's fair to say they're operating like a small market team. I think all teams now, especially the way that we're viewing players, want to be able to do a little bit of everything. And maybe fans won't agree with that, but you have to be able to develop. You have to make smart signings. You have to be able to go get, like I said earlier, like going and getting like defense is important, and it's not as flashy and it's not as expensive, but it is important. It makes you a more complete team, as Alex Cora would say. But you still have to hit on the free agents if you go and try to get those guys. So I think that's what people are most mad about is they just haven't gotten the guys that maybe they've been rumored to get. I don't think for the rest of, the next 5 years, I don't think you can count them out on like the big name free agents. They're going to be in on them, but are they going to get them? We got to see.
I think that, well, look, when Pete Alonso had been rumored to maybe going up there, and you'd have to pay him 150. What Baltimore ended up paying him 155, so some number slightly better than that. But you say I'll pass. Ketel Marte, no, we don't want to give away these certain young guys because we really love them instead of getting a proven commodity and the best second baseman in baseball. I think that's where it is. And also when you clear the decks for Devers, what did he have? Over $250 million owed to him still at the time that they traded him. Well, they have spent some of that. They spent some of it on Ranger Suarez to bring him in. And maybe you thought that when you got rid of Devers that you would get a big-time bat instead of a guy who's not even going to be at the very, very top of your rotation. Maybe that's what still bothers them. But I think there's still at least one or two shots to be fired with this team because of the way that they're built and the young talent that they've got.
Yeah. The window's here for the next few years. Like they're going to have shots in free agency
or at the trade deadline.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I'm shocked that all these outfielders are still there. I truly am. And I want to remind people again, coming from a Twins fan and a Guardians fan, like you're not operating like a small market team, I promise you.
No.
You're not.
No. It's not true at all. Not true at all. So now let's look at this trade that happened from the Milwaukee side of things. Does giving up a third-place finisher in NL Rookie of the Year in Durbin make sense for the penny-pinching crew?
I don't love it for them because I do like Caleb Durbin and just like the vibe and like, look, you got to have on-field performance, which he does. I mean, Rookie of the Year 3, like offensively, like had a pretty decent year last year. I think he can profile even better, but he's also like a guy that fans can rally around. Like I think that is important. So I don't love it, but I think they're looking at Kyle Harrison as like a lefty with a low arm slot that they can just turn into a beast. He's a controllable starting pitcher. Teams, that's what teams want more than anything are controllable big league starting pitching. And then also, I think they have Jet Williams, who they see as the next Caleb Durbin, if not better. So they said, if we can get this guy who they probably internally really, really liked in Harrison for Durbin and just move Jet Williams into his spot, we'll see where he plays. If that is the role, a lot of people say second base is his most comfortable position. So that would mean shaking up the infield a little bit, like possibly moving Bryce over to short. But I think that's the thinking right there, that they have Jet Williams and they really like Kyle Harrison.
Yeah, I think it expands beyond Jet Williams just a bit because Williams is one of 4 prospects that they've got that are top 60 or 70, depending on which list you like to partake in, of infielders that are ready. And probably we're going to push Durbin out anyway because in terms of a higher ceiling. So that's probably the way they look at it. And they say that Harrison is still only 24 and they like his strikeout numbers. Now he's all over the place, right? He spent all but 3 starts or 3 appearances with Boston down in the minor leagues. So he hasn't shown it yet, but they trust themselves in their ability to turn guys around, especially guys that they trade with from Boston, right? Quinn Priester turned into a viable starting pitcher for them just a year ago. And they say maybe this guy's got even better stuff than Quinn Priester. And we can do the same with him. And that's what they're banking on. And in which case it would make sense. And then this other guy they got, Shane Drohan, he's 27 years old, but apparently he profiles pretty well. And once again, they're going to take a shot. And there are some people who say in a couple of years, you're going to sit there and you're going to say, well, wait, who did we give up in the deal for this guy? Well, I don't know if it's going to work out that well, but if he ends up into, once again, a viable major leaguer, then good for you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think Caleb Durbin's going to do great in Boston. And again, he's just a guy that you can root for. And again, we're an entertainment league, so you kind of need guys that you can root for. But I think that, yeah, we kind of nailed what Milwaukee's thinking there. We got some guys that can do what he does, and we love controllable pitching.
Yeah, so a lot to chew on here in the comments section. First of all, for you Red Sox fans, I mean, I look at this team, and as long as everybody makes it through spring training healthy, I don't know how many damn spots there are available on the team. I mean, in fact, I think they still have to make at least one trade to shake things up during spring training.
We've been waiting.
Yeah. And then with Milwaukee, we seem to ask this on almost a weekly basis around here with the Brewers. Where are you at emotionally going into the season? Maybe you're in the perfect spot because people are definitely not going to pick you to be the best team in baseball like you were last year.
Chris, tell me where you think they ranked in runs scored last year.
The Brewers?
Yeah.
Based on the way you're asking it,
Yeah.
it has to be top 5.
3.
Yeah. We'd
Like
never
this team, this gosh, 97 wins. The
Dude,
best team in baseball.
I know. They can all run, and once again, there's no way I'm going to pick them to win the division, let alone have the best record in the league. I'm just not. And you're not either, by the way. I know you're not.
I think I'm like, why not?
Okay.
Right? I mean, they're probably going to get plus odds. I'm in on it. 2nd in stolen bases, 3rd in runs, 3rd in ERA for their starters, 6th in ERA for their bullpen. Overall defense, which they have on Fangraphs now, 6th. Like they are a
complete
beast.
team. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Let us know where you sit on that, Brewers fan. All right, today's episode of Baseball Today, it is sponsored by Amazon. When life throws you a curveball, Amazon's everyday low prices on essentials helps you save the day. Amazon has everything you need, whenever you need it. From planned purchases to unexpected moments, they've got everything in one place, saving you time and money so you can focus on what matters most. I cannot tell you the number of times, like I'm doing my protein shake, right? And I'm filling things up and I'm putting my powders in there. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh my God, I don't have any left. I'm such a moron. I got to run to the... No, I don't have to go anywhere. I just go on my phone, on my Amazon app, order it up. It's here the next day. It is perfect. What does that mean for me? It means less time on the road, less time going to fight parking spots, less time going into stores, and more time grinding on baseball that I love so that we can bring you a great show like Baseball Today each and every weekday. So everything from tech to clothing to daily needs, anything else you need to prepare for the start of the baseball season, Amazon, it is one-stop shopping. Everything you need, one convenient place, delivered right to your door, anytime, anywhere. Whether it's routine shopping or handling life's curveballs, shop Amazon, save on essentials, save the everyday. All right. You know who's back at it? The Pittsburgh Pirates. Marcell Ozuna is now a bucko. 1 year, $12 million, mutual option for 2027. So the Pirates have certainly added pieces in the offseason. How much does this move get the juices flowing for you?
It just adds to the offseason that they've had. And I've caught a little flack for being in on the Pirates because they're the Pirates, essentially. But what we've asked them to do over the last 2 years was, hey, you got this pitching. We know you got more on the way, too. Like, can you get some offense in there? They've made a run. They made a run at Schwarber. Didn't happen. So you're kind of like excited about that. And then what did I say? I said, these guys know you got money to spend now. If you're going to offer Schwarber that money, you better go do it. And they've they've made improvements. They have spent some of that money. So I have to be in on them. Belau comes over, Ryan O'Hearn, and now Marcell Ozuna. The interesting thing about this is, number one, Ozuna can still be an elite hitter in the big leagues. The bat speed has dropped, but he was like going through some hip stuff last year. If he's healthy, the first 2 months of the season, he was going off last year. Then he was slowed by that hip injury. If he's healthy, there's no reason to expect him to have some complete drop off. So this is a big bat in the middle of that order, which I think is going to be great for them. It is going to force O'Hearn to play every day because I don't think Ozuna steps on the field ever with a glove. He's just going to be the DH. So that's interesting there. But we've asked them to make offensive upgrades. They've done it. I'm excited to watch the Pirates play this year. And how many times can you say that except every 5th day when Paul Skeens starts?
Yeah, he's strictly a bat. Okay, we know that. It is what they need, except they still have holes. They don't have a third baseman. Who's starting over there?
Triolo. That's who they have right now on Fangraphs.
Okay, look at the bot. We're showing the lineup right now. So it's Horitz, Lau, Reynolds, O'Hearn, Ozuna's your top 5. Then O'Neill. Then after that, it drops. O'Neill, Cruz, Gonzalez, Triolo, Bart. The bottom half of that lineup does not feel great.
Look, I'm not a Nick Gonzalez truther. I think there could be a little bit more in there. I like the way he swings the bat. Can he make the adjustment at the big league level? We'll see. O'Neal Cruz, I feel like we say the same thing about him every year. Like, when's the breakout coming? He's got all the skills required. Like, when's the breakout coming? There's a chance here, Chris. And maybe I'm just high on the Pirates because, they've did what we asked. But I want to see these guys play, man. I'm excited.
Yeah. That doesn't include the password whom they traded for.
Yeah.
Giving up Oviedo in the offseason with Boston. Listen, I'm okay with the deal, yes, but it feels like, well, you haven't eaten for days. You've been lost in the desert. And then all of a sudden you're treating a fast food joint like it's a 5-star meal. That's just not it. Now, I know that he's less than 2 years removed from being fourth in the NL MVP voting. So, yeah, can he turn it around if he stays healthy and is able to do it the entire year?
That's really not fair to do that to this guy. Like, he's been a banger, and he started out the year as a banger last year and then got hurt and played through it.
I know, but he had some of the worst numbers of his career.
Sure.
Whether you play or you don't, it's just true. He is coming off a career high in walks. So
I think if we get a healthy Ozuna, like he's gonna hit the ball.
Here's what I would like to see them do.
Okay.
I would like to see them make a trade.
Okay.
I would. And if they could
trade,
I do. If they could trade for a third baseman, is Itzhak Paredes the guy you go get? Like, wouldn't you feel better if he were 5th or 6th in that lineup? Then all of a sudden we're cooking a little bit.
Big left field, Chris. That's Itzhak's game.
He's a little bit
ball to the left side.
All right, fine. You don't want him. Okay. Payroll is up over $100 million, so this is the most in Pirates history. And there are some people that are saying, well, they're just doing it so that they can make themselves look good the year before a possible lockout. I get it, but if I'm a Pirates fan, you know what I say? Don't care. Good. Just keep adding. I don't care what the reason you're doing it is.
This has to be the most excited Pirates fans have been since what, like 2015? I don't know.
Yeah. In over a decade, I would say. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Let them have some fun.
And then when Paul Skeens already showed up to camp and he's in Union, you're like, oh, let's go. We are so ready. There is one downside to this whole move, is that it officially slams the door shut on Andrew McCutchen's return.
Yeah.
In fact, did you see what he did on social media? He changed. Yeah. Changed his pick. It's not him in a Pirates uniform anymore. It's just a silhouette. Isn't that a little sad?
Yes. Yes and no. You think he's going to sign with somebody else?
I do. I think he will. And
Brewers?
When you're looking at production, and Ozuna, I think, got twice as much money as Kutch did a year ago, if I'm not mistaken, on the contract. There really isn't a comparison between the two. I mean, Andrew can still hit lefties. I hope he finds a spot. He's great for the sport. What are you looking in the air for?
Just trying to think of where I want Kutch to go. It's my guy. Me and Kutch would go way back. Go to the Dodgers, bro. Just go ring hunting. Come on. Go ring hunting.
They kind of already have a DH.
Well, he doesn't have to be the DH, dude. He could just be on the team.
Just be.
Yeah. I don't know. Does they have a spot?
I think this is unfortunately
if Kike can be on the team, Kutch could be on the team. Yeah, that's not too dissimilar.
Stop. Don't do this. Don't do this. Come on, don't do this.
I'm looking now.
Where you're trying to figure out a place to put him?
I'm putting him on the Dodgers right now. I'm just looking if he just fits. Yeah, he does. Yeah.
What, in front of Alex Hall?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
He actually would fit in Cleveland.
Oh, okay. Don't. Kutch.
He would.
I know you're watching. If you have to pick between Cleveland and the Dodgers, go to the Dodgers.
He doesn't. He's not picking the Dodgers. That's not a possibility here. Well, let us know. Where do you think? Do you think Kutch? I don't think he hangs him up. I think he keeps playing. I just don't know where. So you can leave a comment where he would fit best. That would be good. But this does make me sad. I think we're going to have to there's going to have to be some mending of fences. And in 10 years, he's going to come back and have his jersey retired. And we'll all feel better about it. It's just right now, it's not great.
I mean, did they get a statue?
Probably not a statue.
MVP? Like, brought, like, life back into the organization? Like, who's been a bigger pirate than that guy?
Well,
I mean, I know the Pirates' history. Okay?
Yeah.
I know there's Clemente. I know there's Bonds.
No. Ahead of Bonds is Pop Stargell.
I'm just saying, like, who does he not have a
statue?
Yeah, he probably does.
You know what? That's a great question, Dan. Let's look it up. If Willie Stargell has a statue outside the stadium. I've only been there one time, and that was for the 2006 All-Star game, I believe.
Dude, think about how cool it is to have a statue of yourself.
Yeah.
There you go.
So Pops has got a statue. All right. Obviously.
Name some more, Chris. This is your game.
Well, I mean, I would say that in terms of the history of the Pirates, that's the best we can do. We're talking about people over the last 50 or 60 years. I think they had to have stood for something on top of being great baseball players. And those are two guys who did. Roberto Clemente and Willie Stargell.
Yeah.
I think that
this Paul Skeens, if Paul Skeens plays his 6 years in a Pirates uniform and then never comes back, he's not a statue guy, right?
No.
Okay.
No. Dude, Willie Stargell played for the 1979 team, which he was the captain of the 1979 team. The last Pirates team to win it all or even appear in a World Series. That was one of the first World Series I remember. It wasn't the first one, but it was one of the first. It was so good because the uniform combination between themselves and the Orioles was so great. What do we got there?
PNC's awesome.
Honus Wagner.
That makes sense.
Doesn't surprise me.
MVP, 5-time All-Star, Gold Glove, 4-time Silver Slugger, and he won the Roberto Clemente Award.
Who are you talking about?
Andrew McCutchen.
Okay.
He'd have a cool statue.
He'd have a great statue.
Yeah. Interesting.
Great statue. Well, that's 3 statues right there. Well, assuming that Clemente he's got a whole wall.
He's got a bridge.
Yeah, and a bridge.
Freaking bridge.
And a bridge. And a bridge. There it is.
That's sick.
That is great.
My dad's favorite baseball player. He always said it.
Jeez. Look at that. Go pick up some old video.
He said he was the most complete player you ever saw.
Yeah. Could probably make that argument, right? Cool stuff. Good work, Dan. Nice. A couple more pitching moves to get y'all caught up on, and these are going to continue to file in because there are a bunch of veterans that are still available, and you need depth. Nick Martinez goes to the Rays for 1 year and $13 million. Chris Paddock back to the team that drafted him over a decade ago with the Miami Marlins for a year. Eric Fetty also returning to an old home with the Chicago White Sox. And Aaron Savali just inked a deal with the Athletics, who play their ball in West Sacramento. If we're allowed to say that. I don't know if we're allowed.
Is it West, North? I don't know.
I think it's West Sacramento,
Okay.
right? Anyway, any of those moves make you go, oh, okay, cool, interesting?
Well, we've been calling for the A's to get starters over there. I don't know if Savali's going to be like the guy that, changes things, but I'm stoked for them. I think for me, it's Nick Martinez to the Rays just because he's got a unique like arm angle, super high up. He throws 6 different pitches. He just seems like a guy the Rays can really tinker with and figure stuff out. And he's, last year wasn't great for him, but he's, before that had several really good years. So I think he's still got some in the tank. I'm curious to see what the Rays do with him.
I'll go with Eric Fetty, although I love the Martinez deal. I was hoping that some teams were going to utilize him because he's so good at bouncing back and forth between a starter's role and a bullpen role and being good in each of those. And ever since he came back to the States, he's been excellent. San Diego and Cincinnati and now in Tampa Bay. I think it's a great move for them. I really do. And he's also one of those guys where if it goes sideways for Tampa Bay, he's going to be on the move somewhere else. And he's going to help some team down the stretch. So he will throw big pitches at some point this year, whether it's in Florida or for another team. But for me, it's Eric Fetty. Remember, he came back. He was the KBO MVP, came back 2024. He was excellent with the White Sox. He made over 20 starts that year, had like a 4.5 WAR, and he got traded to St. Louis, and it just didn't work out. Now, even at the beginning of last year with St. Louis, he was okay, and then it just fell apart. His numbers, his strikeout numbers were horrific, like worst in the league among starting pitching, and then they just said, we'll see you later. He bounced around a little bit. I want to see if he can get it back. I like guys who aren't strikeout pitchers if they somehow can still make it in this league, because I think that they just outsmart people. So I want to see if he can do it. Here's a little bit of Fetty when he
it's nasty.
When he joined the Atlanta Braves last year, and that wasn't long term.
Yeah, I forgot that was even a thing.
Yeah, didn't he finish in Milwaukee? Is that where he finished last year?
Look it up right now.
Yeah.
I wasn't on Fetty watch a lot last year, if we're being honest.
Yeah. So he got released by the Cardinals. He went to the Braves.
Yes, he did end up in Milwaukee. Yep.
Yeah, that's where he finished. And he only pitched a couple of games in relief, I think. So I want to see if he can get it back, because I like dudes who can outsmart people. But we're going to be seeing a bunch of those signings. There's still some viable starting. Like, Lucas Giolito's still out there.
Giolito, Gallen, Bassett are still out there.
And those are guys who have had really good major league careers. I think the Gallen one is fascinating. Don't you?
Chicago White Sox or Pittsburgh Pirates offseason, who tops?
Pirates.
Really?
Yes, because the White Sox aren't going to be competing for anything. They're working on getting better and trying to figure out who can help them moving forward. I think the Pirates with that rotation.
Wait, I thought you were out on the Pirates.
I was not out on the Pirates. I'm saying they need a third baseman, though. If they really want to step up, I would have spent the money elsewhere or traded for. And they still can trade. They have people that teams want. Just saying. All right, today's episode of Baseball Today, it's sponsored by Best Western Hotels and Resorts. Life's a trip. Why not make the most of it? With over 4,000 hotels worldwide, Best Western is there for every detour and destination and unexpected twist and turn along the way. A great stay isn't just about where you sleep. It's about where the journey takes you next. And when you stay 3 nights at Best Western, you're going to receive a $50 gift certificate to use on your next stay. Best Western, I get it. Traveling isn't one size fits all. So whether you're looking for the next great adventure, time to unwind, making memories with friends and family, Best Western helps you achieve your travel goals. Doesn't matter if you're flying solo, with your friends, the entire roster, Best Western, they got you covered. Pack your bag, queue up the playlist, book more of what matters the most. Life's a trip. Make the most of it. Where? bestwestern.com. All right. A couple of Phillies notes for you. Team hopes to have their ace, Zach Wheeler, early in the season. Sounds like he's going to miss the first few weeks at least. There's no great timetable on his return from thoracic outlet syndrome surgery. Meanwhile, what's to happen with outfielder Nick Castellanos? You remember last year, he took his manager to task. He got benched for a while. He didn't perform well, particularly the second half of the season. He is still heading into the final year of a 5-year, $100 million contract. And we got report date coming soon. So here is team president Dave Dombrowski.
Wondering where things stand in terms of finding kind of that change of scenery for Nick Castellanos that you've talked about throughout the winter.
Well, we continue to talk to clubs about that, and that's our focus prior to the start of spring training. So that's something that we'll continue to work on this week.
Is that something that you hope to have resolved this week?
Hopefully, yes.
Hey, Dave, just to clarify, if Nick is not traded or released by the time position players are scheduled to report, will he be in camp?
Well, at this point, we're doing everything we can to make a move by that time period. So I'll leave it at that right now.
Are you okay with the way he handled that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's obvious to everybody what's going on. They don't want Nick there. They're trying to, move on. So,
but why is he even still a Philly? Why can't we?
Because you can't say no, we'll release him, because then no one will trade for. Like, they're trying to get somebody to eat whatever amount of money on that salary. They're looking for, whatever. It's the Padres, maybe it's your Guardian. Somebody like, all right, we'll take $2 million off of that.
What do you think? Because if they release him, then whatever team signs him is only on the hook for $780,000.
Yes.
Correct. What would you? Let's be honest. You're a GM out there, and you need a guy who has been a proven major leaguer, but at this point, he was league average last year, and that's at the plate. Now, I don't even want to factor in anything in the field when you put a glove on his hand. What would you be willing to pay him monetarily? I'm not talking about giving up prospects because nothing's going back to Philly that's going to help him.
Look, I don't want to disrespect Nick Castellanos as a ball player. He's had a heck of a career, had some great moments.
Yep.
So I'm not trying to disparage what he's done, but at this point, I'd probably just wait it out. It seems like what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And if I really thought he could be like an impact piece of my team, I'd go offer $2 million to the Phillies, and I'd get him right now.
Well, that's the thing. I think $2 million is the line.
Yeah, if you want this guy, you can go get him for $2 million, and that's a drop in the bucket to your payroll. And I just don't think teams are super into it right now. Maybe some of the baggage that you might think would follow him. I don't know. In my personal opinion, I think he'd be super motivated to prove everybody wrong. That's kind of like the guy that he is.
Oh yeah, he is huge chip on his shoulder guy.
Yeah, so if I wouldn't worry about him coming over and being like a bad teammate or I don't think that's the kind of guy he is. I think that relationship has soured doesn't mean you're a bad person. Nope. It just means that that thing is done. So again, if you see him and you're like, hey, this guy can make a difference, I'd go offer $2 million for him and say, let's see what happens. It doesn't seem like that's going on though right now.
So I think part of what happened in Philadelphia is the fact that he lost his job, right? I mean, he went from an everyday baseball player to you're a platoon guy at best. Now, wherever he moves, he's most likely not going to be an everyday guy. Would that worry you if you were his new team and said, okay, well, the last interaction he had with his skipper wasn't great based on this role?
Yeah, I think there's a level of disrespect that he feels. And if someone goes out, just from a player's perspective, if you feel like you're being disrespected in your organization, and then a team goes out and makes an offer for you or picks you up when you're down, you feel like you owe something to that team and you want to prove them right. Hey, you made the right decision, and I'm going to show you. I think that's the kind of guy, and most guys are like that, but Castellanos is as well. Here's my thing, Chris, and I'm not saying this is what he wants to do. I'm saying, wouldn't it be nice just to earn $20 million at home for doing nothing? If he gets released, he doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah, he's got a young family. You're right.
Yeah, just go hang out and make $20 million.
It's interesting. Does he show up to camp if he's still on the roster on the 40-man? I think he has to. Physical, right, and stuff.
I think he has to, unless they come they talk on the side and say you're good. You don't need to. It doesn't sound like they want the distraction,
right?
So I don't think I'm sure that would be the discussion. Was hey, you're good. You don't need to show up.
Yeah.
Keep working. We're still working on a deal for you, whatever it is. But you know what? It would shock me if by the time position players report, it would shock me if he either wasn't traded or released. There's going to. I think that's the deadline.
Yeah, that's it. And it's inexcusable if it's not. To be honest with you, for the Phillies.
Can I say this again? That I don't think he'd be a problem on any other team.
I don't think so either.
Yeah,
I would be willing to take that, whatever risk it is. I thought San Diego would have been a good fit prior to the Miguel Andujar signing. I do think that Cleveland is not a bad landing ground. And I'll give you one other one. Detroit. No. I think Detroit could use a right-handed DH. Am I missing somebody that they got rid of Henry Malloy, right?
Sure. I think those are fine options. I would take one of the Twins right now.
Cleveland had the worst OPS from the right side.
Let's see what Nick hit against lefties last year.
It wasn't great. I think it was like slightly over 700 OPS. He really didn't have splits at all. He just wasn't good, period.
Worse against lefties than righties. 680 OPS against lefties, 701 against righties. Let's look career.
Yeah, but you can't. I don't know if
What? That's fine.
You can for fun, but I don't know if it's the
853 lefties, 762 righties. This guy's been a banger, Chris.
he's got 250 home runs. He's got.
Let's guess the career salary with him.
All right. Well,
I haven't looked yet. You
So
already told me you signed the $100 million deal.
are you including the 20 mil that he's going to earn this year?
Yeah, you have to.
Okay.
That's part of the 100 million.
Yep.
I'll go first. I think he's made like 155.
I'm going to go slightly lower. I was going to say 143.
Okay, here we go. Oh, did I miss it? I missed it. Where is it, Chris?
Come on.
Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. 5, 4, 3, 2, and the answer is 130. No, 150.5 would be the answer.
Okay. So we're kind of in between it. We're surrounding it.
Golly, Nick. Take it to the house, player.
Good work if you could find it.
Take it to the house.
Good work if you could find it. All right. Barring any major trades or enormous signings, there's not that many big names left, but a few interesting ones. We will see you later this week, most likely on Friday. We're getting closer to going back to 5 days a week. We're excited about that. We've got our World Baseball coverage coming up. We're at spring training next week in Arizona, so if you see us out at camps, make sure you say hello. We'll be the ones wearing the John Boy Media gear. If you ever need to see us, yeah. What? Nothing. I have to keep an eye on Rourke in person for like a
he's going with you?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you what he did last year, but maybe offline.
Okay.
Maybe offline. Maybe it's for a day on the show. We'll see. He still had me shaking my head. All right, we are back at it later again this week. Thanks for hanging out with us, as always. For our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, the uber-talented Trevor Plouffe, I am Chris Rose. We will see you Friday at the latest here on Baseball Today.